Hi guys, so today what we have here, this is the Citroen C3 Aircross, and I must say that this is really one of the most cheerful looking cars that I've had the pleasure of reviewing this, in recent memory. Okay, certainly I mean, seriously, just look at this, just look at the way it styles, the way it looks, the way it dresses up. You can't help but, you know, turn your heads and be fixated at the sight of one of these if should they drive past you. This is really one of this I think really amongst the many cars that I've tested, one of the biggest turner of heads after maybe only the Renault Twizy. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's just such a pleasant car to look at. Okay, and I like how, you know, from front to back, the way they designed this car, they styled it to make it look so unique. You know, it is just such a fun expression of design. You look at this car, right? When you look at this car, right, immediately, right, I don't care how miserable, how bad your day has been. You know, the sight of one of these is bound to cheer you up. Okay, so this car is priced at about 116,000 ringgit. So it sits in the same price bracket as a Honda HR-V. Significantly cheaper than the Mazda CX-3, but thereabouts within sight of the Renault Captur, which it is also very closely matched in terms of dimension, and also performance as well. Okay, both this and the Captur are powered by a 1.2 liter turbocharged engine, mated to a 6-speed transmission with front wheel drive. The difference is the Captur has a 4-cylinder engine. This one makes do with 3 cylinders. The Captur has a dual clutch transmission. This one has a 6-speed torque converter automatic. But in honesty, after driving it, the way this car behaves at low speed, it actually feels more like a DCT. But still, yeah, so I think the major appeal of this car really is, I can't emphasize this enough, is the way it looks. We start with the front. There is really nothing else in the market that looks like this. It blends futuristic appearance with, you know, a dash of sophistication, with a dash of just plain simple fun. All right, and this is a car, when you look at it, it just screams fun. Okay, yeah, so what you see here, what's so unique about the front end is that this strip of lighting here, these are just the daytime running lights. The actual headlights is here. This is the actual headlights, and it is a halogen reflector headlight. So normally, right, in most cars, when we see halogen reflectors, it straight away shouts, you know, this is low spec, this is the base model. But here it doesn't, because of the way because of the way they arrange things. Okay, the daytime running lights are the ones that grab your primary attention as the eyes of the car. These are LEDs. Okay, so the main beam sits in a more secondary position. So the fact that it uses, you know, halogen reflector headlamps, the lower spec headlights, actually, it doesn't affect the car's appearance by much. Okay, so that's one. And we can see the grille. It has these square patterns here, all right, to add to the intricacy of the front design, and also the front diffuser, all right, same, you know, with this unpainted section, as well as this, well, grey painted part. So overall, you can see, just even from the front end alone, they have exerted considerable effort on the styling of this car. Now we come to the side, we can see the two-tone paintwork of the car. Okay, now there are 4 colors on offer. White is one of those that actually gets matched with this orange color strips here. Okay, on the roof lining, you know, and on the rear quarter window, as well as the side mirrors, and also the wheels. So you see the wheels, There's this center cap, this square center cap here. This is what they call what? The forever wheels, spelled with the forever. Yeah, I mean, from the side here, looks great. This really looks like a junior version of a Mini Countryman. You know, it's like this really gives the impression that it is something that you would buy today, and with the eye of 2 years, 3 years down the road, upgrade to a Countryman. All right. Yep. So very fun looking at the side. Very, you know, nice, as urban, active lifestyle kind of appearance. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you honestly, when you buy this car, you absolutely have to spec it with this orange trim patterns. It just really enhances the visual effect of this car. I mean, the purpose of you buying this car really would be to admire and appreciate the effort that they put in the design. So you come to the back here, it's yep, it has once again, it really reminds us of, you know, the Mini Countryman. Okay, a very fun looking, very active lifestyle kind of car. So you can see here, I think what I need to do is I actually need to switch on the lights, so to illustrate things better for you. So you can see here the tail lights. Okay, it lights up in this concentric pattern here. Okay, looks really good at night. But what they've been very clever about is, if you can see properly inside, it is actually a single bulb in there. Okay, that they put these patterns here to make it mimic the appearance of an LED illumination system. Very, very clever. Now we come to the front. You can see this is the main beam. This is the LED daytime running lights. Okay, let me just switch off the lighting. Now with the lights off, you can see that the LED strip here gains brightness. So this is the daytime running light illumination intensity. Earlier what you saw was the position light illumination intensity. So let's open the boot. And what we have here, so according to Citroen, this is good for 410 liters of boot space. This is a double-decker floor, so which means that you can actually lift this and drop this floor, so that to give you a bit more cargo room. You can also drop the front seat, the seats 60/40, which there's no release latch here or here. You do get this couple of pair of hooks here. But what you can do is, the seats are within, the seat backs within reach, so you can drop this from here. You can release them and quite conveniently push them down. All right. And of course, so now with the seats dropped, if I bring this back up, what you get here is that it is a decently flat floor, but there is a bit of a gap here, so things may drop through. Okay, if you are carrying small items at the back. But thankfully though, it's whatever that drops through there, you can easily access them by just taking this floor out. Okay, so let's go inside the car. Okay, so we'll come in here. I'll lift this. Okay, and let me just put this up as well. So what you need to do is, the seat belt here, there's this plastic clip there which you have to put there in place, and then nicely slot the seat back in. Same goes with this side. Before you snatch the seat in place, this guide here is to hold the seat belt so it doesn't get trapped. And what do we have here? Fabric seats, and they have these pores here, which means that on a hot day, this material, very nice, very cooling to sit in. And you see this strap here. Pull this. It's more like a folding seat per seat back, as well as it doubles as a armrest. A very clever design. For the middle passenger, a tool buckle 3-point belt. You also have recline adjustment, which is fantastic. I've got good headroom here, even at both angles of recline. Okay, even if I sit up also, yeah, good headroom. All right, leg room is good, but the seat depth, okay, as well as the angle of the seat, yeah, I could do with a bit more angle to get better thigh support. Okay, so what we have here down here at the trailing edge of the center console, we've got a 12-volt socket here. Got this slot here to dock my phone or a cup holder. Yeah, door card here also nice. This one has this little fabric lining here on the armrest, on the armrest, but rest of it hard plastic. I do appreciate this this sunshade here. Is something that as a father, this is something that I appreciate. You know, when especially mornings when I send my daughter to daycare, you know, there's a time when the sun angle is at a low angle, shines into the cabin. So yeah, I appreciate having this built-in sunshades here so that yeah, it doesn't get too hot for my daughter. All right, so certainly it beats having, you know, you to go to the accessory shop and buy those fit-ons there. All right, let's go to the front. Okay, we come to the front. I'm going to quickly start the engine. All right, so you can see here the orange contrast theme continues inside. You get these orange highlights on the aircon vents, as well as you see this little side stitching here, and also the seat. So even though these are fabric seats, they don't at all look cheap. All right, certainly it really looks like they've invested a lot of effort in the design of the cabin. So you can see here, look at this, the design is hardly what you would call boring. I mean, yes, you do find all these traces of hard plastic, but you see, the thing is that this car is built to a low cost, so some compromises inevitably will be there. Switchgear quality is all right. There is a bit of free play, but not significant. Yep, so you have this tray here above the glove box. This surface is rubberized, so things don't slide about. Okay, it's rubberized, and you got the glove box in there that is, well, in typical French car fashion. It's interfered by a fuse box, so not that useful. Okay, got a large center screen here. Got a large center screen here, which controls many things, including climate control. Honestly, I would have preferred a bit of, you know, for climate control, I always prefer physical switches, because what it means is that when you're driving, let's say you're alone in the car, you want to adjust the temperature, you actually have to you have to glance down, look for this one here, this button here, press this, which is not a physical button, press this touch area, and then adjust, and then once again look here to fiddle with the temperature and blower speed. You do get GPS navigation, not something entirely necessary, but it's there. All right, you have a reverse camera, which is of, well, distinctly average resolution, but a rather neat feature, and this was something that I showed you in the Peugeot 3008 as well. As you reverse, all right, as you reverse, notice that here the car actually stitches what it previously saw to form a sort of 360-degree image around the car. I think this is a very clever way of utilizing the car's one camera to deliver a sort of 3D effect. Now, let me just play around with this a bit. I'm going to turn my steering angle. Okay, and you can see how the image turns, and the stitching actually is rather good. Okay, so we'll address that another time. Here we have it. This is a cup holder, a rather shallow cup holder. Not sure what can you hold in there, but the surprise here is this: you pull this up, underneath here, this changes the utility factor of this compartment completely, because here what you have here, this is a very shallow square shaped cup holder that I don't think I will trust with many of my drinks, but this is totally different. Okay, I can use this to chuck away my phone, my smart tag, my keys, all this in here. This compartment here will take a great many things. Okay, so that is useful. And I like how they position the gear selector indicator there. Okay, it's really a touch of flair. Okay, very nice. USB socket, 12-volt socket. This is to set the transmission selection. You can choose sport mapping, winter mapping, or disable it altogether. Disable it to normal. Let's see what else. So we see here the instrument cluster is a very simple, very basic instrument cluster. All right, 4 gauge, and it is a monochrome center display. All right, which you can cycle through many things, many display modes here. But what I like is that how they dress up the rest of the instrument cluster to make it look sophisticated, even though it is a very simple cluster. All right, like I particularly like how they put this marker here, the times 100 RPM, as well as the kilometers per hour indicator here at the 0 mark. It is just something uniquely done that no other car makers do. Okay, so we come here and see, yep, you can see here the orange lining at the side aircon vent, and you can see this car actually has a lane departure warning. Okay, the steering wheel here also very unique shape. Once again, it's very basic, but the way it's styled together, put together, looks very nice. All right, you get a voice command here. This is to browse the trip computer. And here you can see this is a trademark PSA group cruise control stock. Not sure how many of you guys do use, you know, old school regular cruise control. I know I certainly don't. Okay, so you come back to center console here. This is the handbrake. Wow, nice mechanical parking brake. It's the shape of it is unique. All right, it certainly makes you feel like you're flying an aircraft. Okay, I always like mechanical handbrakes that look a little unique. This is one. The first gen S Max is another. The first gen S Max was one that you pull a handle up like this. This one, yeah, looks nice, but then again, not exactly intuitive to operate, particularly on release. Okay, so yeah, here we have it. This is the Citroen C3 Aircross. So what do I think of this car? Well, my driving review is posted separately, so you can watch that. Basically, styling wise, inside and out, this car is absolutely lovely to behold. This is a car that you can really look at all day, and when you step inside, you're greeted by this cabin that is obviously built to look and feel different than anything else in the market. Yes, the material selection does not as expensive. Actually, it's pretty average in terms of the material selection, but the way they lay everything out together, the way they do everything, you know, they arrange everything. Okay, it really gives this cabin a very unique flavor, and without sacrificing too much practicality, it still feels like a decently practical cabin, and I appreciate that. The driving experience, which you can see in my review, really is just average, very average to drive. Nothing sparkling about the driving experience, but you know, because of the way it looks, because of the way this car looks inside out, you are really inclined to forgive it for a lot of things. It's not a terribly bad car, but it's just that the whole driving experience of it really does not sparkle, does not capture my attention. I dare say it does not live up to, does not match up to the appearance of the car. So yeah, I would say that, you know, if Citroen is planning a midlife update of this car, don't do anything to the styling. Just improve the calibration of the engine and transmission at low speed. All right, give it a bit more worth, give it a bit more fun, and this would be a very, very nice car. I mean, it would be a very, very likable car.